One person brings the bill, same person accepts it, and then passes it.
There are many Sinhalese people who protected Tamil people as well.
If Canada is in the right mind um, to reconcile, Canada should provide how many refugees did you get from Sri Lanka question. This is a law right now. This is a law, meaning somebody attack a Buddhist temple, they have they have some justification, and we don't want to do that.
There will be a Tamil Genocide Education Week in May on every year in Ottawa province. And this has become a law. And I think this has a lot of emotions. This creator has a lot of emotions from all the sides of the Canadian, especially among the Canadian Sri Lankans. And we can talk a little bit more about this situation and the issues. And I want to welcome Anura Ferdinand, who are joining with us from Ottawa. And welcome, Anura.
Welcome. Thank you, Chitra, for the opportunity.
Yeah.
And hi, everybody at Boston Lanka.
Yes, thank you, Anura. I want to first of all just give a brief introduction. I think Anura has been very much active in Canada, especially with the Sri Lankan community. But let me very briefly share some of the things Anura has been doing. At present he's the president of the Sri Lanka Canadian Action Coalition, and also he's the president of Sri Lanka Canada Heritage Foundation. Anwar has been, I think, living in Canada for more than 20 years now.
Yeah, it's long enough.
Long time. And also, I think he has, for 3 times, he was the president of the Sri Lanka Canada Association of Ottawa. And I want to mention also, he's been instrumental in obtaining the month of April, as Sri Lanka Heritage Month. That declaration, he got it from the city of Ottawa. And also I think under his leadership, they have organized the first ever Sinhala Heritage Day in Canada Parliament in Ottawa on the 27th of April 2019. So that itself is a lot. And we want to thank you for all your work, especially in promoting Sri Lanka, and especially also sharing some of the Sri Lankan heritage and with the Canadian population. Now,
Thank you.
Welcome. Now I know that there's this. We've been hearing a lot about this Tamil Genocide Education Week Act, and I think the name itself, this genocide, is something that we need to talk, especially whether this is something that even we can use that term. But before that, can you just give us a brief explanation? Those who have not much, understanding about this act, what is this about?
Yes. Now, this bill was presented by MPP Vijay Thanigalasam. He's a municipal minister of parliament from Scarborough Rouge Park. So this particular bill was first introduced in 2019. And it's a provincial bill. It's not a federal bill. So it's just in the effects of Ontario. This bill is looking to dedicate a 7-day period each year, ending on 18th of May, to be proclaimed as Tamil Genocide Education Week. And during this week, Ontarians are encouraged to educate themselves about and to maintain their awareness of the Tamil genocide and the other genocide that's happened around the world. And the bill is laced with false statements. Unfortunate to say that this bill was not fact-checked. Any Any Sri Lankan reading this bill is extremely offensive. This bill contains a paragraph that says, I'm just going to read the whole paragraph. Acts of genocide against Tamils started in 1948 after Sri Lanka gained its independence and were perpetrated through Sinhala Buddhist centric government policies, pogroms, land grabs, and ethnic cleansing. This inference of a race and a religion is extremely offensive. Me being a Sri Lankan, this has affected me, my family, my friends immensely. Thus, my passion to get this bill repealed on a personal level. On an organizational level, we have members across Canada, and we have even volunteers that has come from all over the world to pledge support to get rid of this bill of lies, as we say. Communities in Canada are living in harmony. We do not need any divisions in the community by these kinds of bill. I have a lot of Tamil friends and I love them dearly. I have Tamil relatives. I love them dearly. It is a very, very uncomfortable situation, even to discuss these divisive bills, divisive nature that people, or rather politicians, have brought forward for their own political gain, given the next year is a election year. So it's very unfortunate that politicians just took this bill, took these words out of thin air and decided to enact it. So
Yes, Anurag, you were talking about. I'm glad you read this little bit part of this bill, and also when somebody says genocide, normally we will think about the Nazi Germany or in Rwanda where the Tutsi Hutu that conflict, or in Cambodia the Cameroon and all that. And I at least my understanding is genocide is like you are targeting particular community or race, and then also intentionally try to destroy the identity altogether, eliminate that type of a thing. So I'm also puzzled on this, and also I read the bill. There's some place that says that although UN says about 40,000 somewhat people were killed, there are more than 100,000, 120,000. I don't know where these figures are coming from, but tell me what is this? I mean, I'm sure there's people, Sri Lankans, who know the facts. I mean, where are they? What are they doing? I mean.
it's a so what's happening here is, first of all, the ability or the designation for a genocide has to come from International Criminal Court, United Nations. They have still not declared it as genocide. Federal government, Canadian federal government, calls it an armed insurgency. It was evident with Prime Minister Trudeau's message on May 18th. He referred to it as armed insurgency. We have seen from few freedom of informations we have done for different cities in Ontario that the federal government have instructed some of these municipal governments not to take on this politically sensitive subject as a genocide. Instead, to be to provide a balanced view. And that's the Canada we know, and that's the Canadian I am, that I'm proud. Unfortunately, politicians have twisted these wordings. They have got numbers, 146,679 out of thin air, we call it. How they have arrived it is they have taken statistics from the United Nations, they have taken statistics from Sri Lanka, and they have made a deduction And that's how they have come to 146,000. It does not account to people who have migrated or have left as refugees. If Canada is in the right mind um, to reconcile, Canada should provide how many refugees did you get from Sri Lanka? Question to this day that is not answered. So without that, they are calling this big number. And the fact checking that is, I'm going back to it again, is all of these lines. There's out of all the lines, we find fault with facts. And as I understand, there had been some fact corrections provided by, sorry, request to appear to on behalf of the community to speak against about these facts. To my recollection, there is close to 500 people have written and requested permission to appear in front of the committee and speak against this bill. However, the committee was also chaired by a Tamil, decided to go against the public request. And they met on the 4th of May, decided on their own that this is true without any expert advice, not just from the community, but even external specialists. So one person brings the bill, same person accepts it, and then passes it.
I mean, as you read in that paragraph, it's talking about more like a Sinhalese people are more like a barbaric kind of people
Yeah,
who,
yeah,
kill Tamil people. I
yeah,
mean, I know we have some bad, history. Like, for example, 1983, what happened was bad, but then not all single. There are many Sinhalese people who protected Tamil people as well. So that that's there. But at the end, I think what you are saying is I'm particularly interested, like, for example, your children, like many Sinhalese community,
yeah,
obviously, the how they feel about it. I mean, obviously, other people how they look at them in a different way. If this comes to the more people start thinking, oh, this is how the Sinhalese people are going to behave or behaved in the past. I mean, that's not good, right?
yeah. This bill is extremely offensive, extremely divisive. Because of this bill, school systems will pick this subject and will be teaching the that there was a genocide perpetrated by the Sinhalese Buddhists, and it will be taught in schools. Children will learn it. In our case, my two children, they will learn it. We, as parents, given that this subject had come up, we can correct it. However, if this is taught in a school, it's taught to the neighbors, friends, whom with different nationalities who may not know the right facts to correct it. Now, at the same time, this subject is taught by a teacher to a kid. And then in the afternoon or on Sundays, the same children goes to Sunday school and learns about the five precepts of Buddhism. Now the child on their own have to decide what is right, what is wrong. So as you see, there is some mental pressure, there is mental sanity about what is truth and what is not.
So, Anura, I'm interested to know, like, what are the actions that the Sri Lankan community are taking? I mean, obviously, is there any way that you could go to judiciary, Supreme Court, or whatever? I don't understand. I
Yeah,
don't know what exactly some of the areas that's available for you to correct this, if it's possible.
yeah. So when the bill had come, one way that we could intervene was to appear in the committee, delegation request. So we had provided that. So many has provided that did not materialize. When it became when it becomes an act, there there are two ways. We can seek a political way, and we can look at a judicial way. Currently, because of lack of representation, we cannot go with the political way, whereby an MPP would bring a motion to repeal the act. So that's not going to happen. So we decided to go with the judicial way. Now, that's an expensive exercise. We did not want just one lawyer, but we required a team of lawyers because we were not sure, given this is uncharted territory that we are heading. So we want to make sure that this is a concern of national interest, not just in Canada or Ontario. Everybody is looking at it. United States Board of Bill Motion 413, and New Zealand, Australia, so many other places will pop up. So we want to make sure that we approach a right team to get this through with the support of the community. So that's why we are proceeding with the legal approach with a great team.
So are you getting, I mean, I know, I'm sure, like you said, it's a very expensive endeavor that you are embarking on, but what kind of fundraising efforts you are doing at this point?
So originally we looked at $150,000 target. When you break it down into a smaller value, it's not big. We are looking at $500 from 300 households. Now, given the population of Ontario, to get 300 households that can give $500, you would think it's a easy task. We have done the fundraiser for over 30 days, and we have raised over $35,000. $35,000 since a little over a month and a half. So people are contributing, and organizations have come together. The Sri Lanka Canada Association of Brampton, Sri Lanka Canada Association of Markham, Sri Lanka United National Association of Canada, and Social Sri Lanka, Canada Sri Lanka Center for Social Harmony. We all come together, given this enormous challenge, to raise funds in using many methods, um, and to bring some justice to this cause.
Yeah, I think because I think what we need is to at least to start living in a very united way. I mean, that's what even in Sri Lanka, we have to try our best to, move forward as Sri Lankans, not to have this divisiveness among us. But like you said, it's unfortunate that this is happening in Canada among Sri Lankan community. And now the question is, now, are you obviously fundraising is not that going that great, but obviously people are contributing a little bit.
Mhm.
But other than that, politically, I mean, is there a way that somehow you could mobilize the Sri Lankan community? I'm sure even people who understand the facts, I mean, will know, because this is a lot of misinformation that's going on, and it's you cannot change a history in a way, right?
Yes.
I don't know. It's bad. This is happening. I think.
Yeah, and the Sri Lankan community we have started raising a awareness campaign with the support of 7 temples in Ontario, the Nayaka Theros and other Theros have come together and provided statements educating their followers on the impact of this bill. So this is a start. This is a great start where we see unity among our community, and organizations, people coming together using various funding methods and saying, Anura, is this okay? And requesting the community, is this okay? Can we do this? This is what we want. At the same time, there are people who still says, so what is this Bill 104? And what is so we are okay with both of these responses because in Canada, some people they work really hard and it's no strange that they have no clue. So mediums like this, Boston Lanka, with other mediums, we hope to send out a message to say that please be aware that this is taking place. If we know about it, we have a responsibility to do something about it. You just cannot ignore the fact that people are going and saying this, and this is a law right now. This is a law, meaning somebody attack a Buddhist temple, they have they have some justification, and we don't want to do that. The dignified, most holy Theros need this justice, and we are standing with them because if we don't do our part to get this repealed now, we can only imagine the repercussions of this. No bill like this should ever come, not just for Sinhalese, but for any other race. And the fact that it has Buddhism and Sinhalese, it 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 strikes in my heart so much.
Yes, Sandra, again, I'm happy that you are involved in this matter and are also trying to mobilize people at least to do the fact checking, do the have right information, and at least also because not to create divisiveness among the Sri Lankan community. I mean, that's what we need, and hopefully the judiciary would see this through and make the right decision. Anyway, I'm glad we have had this conversation, and we'll continue to follow up on the action of your organization as well as the Sri Lankan community in Ottawa. So I just want to thank you again for joining with us, and we'll wish you all the best, and we'll continue to follow what you are doing on this matter.
Thank you, Chitral, for the opportunity. And I also want to thank all those donors from America who have donated to us. Please go to OntarioBill104.ca, OntarioBill104.ca, if you want more information. Thanks again for the opportunity and have a great day, everybody.
Thank you. Thanks.